This transfer window is about to get a whole lot more exciting for Tottenham. Multiple reports are saying that we are closing in on a deal with Atalanta to sign Cristian Romero, while Alistair Gold has said that Jules Kounde is interested in a move to join the North London side. There's so much to get through again today as just things continue to blow up with updates on Cristian Romero, Jules Kounde, Harry Kane, Brian Gill, Takahiro Tomiyasu, Heung-min Son, of course, his new contract. There's just so much to get through, and we are going to dive straight into it. Alistair Gold has spoken today on Cristian Romero, and he has said that Cristian Romero is keen on a move to Tottenham. Spurs and Atalanta just need to come to an agreement over the price and structure of the deal. When Alistair Gold says a player wants to join, you know that's good. And this is the second player that Alistair Gold has given us this news on today. We'll of course talk about Jules Kounde in a little bit. Just to recap on what we learned last night with regard to this Cristian Romero deal, Fabrizio Romano said that Tottenham have agreed personal terms with the Argentinian over a potential move with a 5-year contract running through until 2026 if we can agree terms with Atalanta over what the deal is going to be. And it's looking like that deal could be close to €50 million. We'll get the exact words there from Romano. He said a little under 24 hours ago, Tottenham have an agreement on personal terms with Argentinian centre-back Cristian Romero until June of 2026. It's not true that the player is refusing Spurs. Some reports yesterday were saying that Cristian Romero didn't want Tottenham and he wanted, as you could understand, Champions League football. That doesn't seem to be true. He said Tottenham and Atalanta are now negotiating on the fee. Still no agreement reached, talks on. He tweeted a few hours later and said talks ongoing between Atalanta and Tottenham for Cristian Romero after personal terms were agreed. As revealed today, €55 million price tag to be discussed, also including add-ons. Then talking about an Atalanta replacement. Now what Romano also said on Twitch, which is something that is making this deal look a whole lot more likely from the fan point of view when you're trying to think how Tottenham could get this done, where the money could come from. Well, what Romano said was Atalanta are willing to accept a fee in installments over many years, which could make this a very affordable deal for Tottenham and also could open up some funds to move towards any other player that we could be looking for in this window. So that is absolutely crucial for Spurs, that Atalanta, as according to Fabrizio Romano, are willing to accept a fee in installments over many years. This could be a game changer for Tottenham's transfer window. I will also look at a few other reports. Gianluca Di Marzio said today that Tottenham want to complete a deal for Cristian Romero as soon as possible. Spurs have offered around €45 million plus 10 million in bonuses to Atalanta. The Argentine has already agreed a 5-year contract with Tottenham. A few details need sorting, but a deal seems to be in the pipeline. And Sky Sports saying as well, Spurs have stepped up talks with Atalanta over a deal for Cristian Romero. Spurs have offered between £34 and £39 million plus £8.5 million in bonuses. Personal terms are also not expected to be an issue. So very similar figures there from Sky Sports and Gianluca Di Marzio. And the general understanding there is that personal terms are done and a deal is close to being agreed. We've a super chat there from Wayne. Actually, sorry, Wayne, you put a super chat in before the stream as well, which I forgot to get to. Wayne, thank you so much for the 2 super chats. I think before the stream you said any confirmation as to ins and outs at the moment, aside from Gazzaniga, Danny Rose, and another player who left at the end of the season who I can't think of at the moment. Aside from them, there's no one gone. Any news of centre mids to come in? There's news yesterday that we could be preparing a bid for Michael Damsgaard, the Danish attacking midfielder, of about £25 million. That's from La Repubblica. But aside from that, there's not too much on centre mids at the moment. Wayne says, is Romero worth the £50 million? I'll get to a quote in a second from an Italian agent on what he said about Romero, and it makes it seem as though €50 million is an incredible deal. But he was a Serie A defender last year, outperformed Milan Skriniar, who starred in that Inter Milan team that went on to win the league. Of course, played a big part of that Argentinian team who won the Copa America as well. Juan Foyth, people are saying there, of course, Juan Foyth moving on to Villarreal. I think I'll try to fix the audio there, guys. I apologize. I think it's hard to sit here and say it's a player that we don't entirely know, and say it's the best deal in the world. But I do just think we have to trust Fabio Paratici and what he's doing, and we have to trust these agents, these journalists, everyone who's saying these things about Romero, about just how good he is. I know a lot of people think that with fans the kind of price tag isn't entirely relevant to us, and that if we get a player, whether it's for 10 million or 200 million, it doesn't really matter. I do think it is relevant to us because if we could get Romero for 50 million, or we could get 2-3 other centre backs for around the same price, well then I'd see why fans would care about the price tag. But look, I care. and I think this is a very, very good deal for Spurs. We'll take a few reports from some Italian outlets who've been talking about this quite a bit today. Calcio Mercato have said that Cristian Romero is one step away from joining Tottenham. An agreement has been reached for €50 million, and the announcement will soon take place. Giacomo Iacobellis from Tutto Mercato said that Cristian Romero's move to Tottenham is getting closer by the hour. Davinson Sanchez remains a target for Sevilla, who are in contact with Tottenham. And just quickly on that Sanchez thing, Iacobellis also said that Sevilla are applying very strong pressure to sign Tottenham Hotspur defender Davinson Sanchez, with a few Premier League clubs also sniffing around. We'll talk a bit more about Sanchez when we move on to Jules Kounde in a second. On Romero, Telegraph Sport are saying that Spurs are stepping up their attempts to sign Cristian Romero. The Argentine is Spurs' #1 centre-back target. The deal is expected to break the £40 mark. And Tutto Mercato also talking about an Italian agent, Fiorio Valcareggi, who's talking about Cristian Romero, and the praise that he put onto the centre-back is absolutely incredible. If I were Paratici and Tottenham, I would take him immediately. You will put the defence in place for 10 years, just like if you take Koulibaly. He sets your defence in one fell swoop. He's the Ronaldo of defending. So Valcareggi calling Cristian Romero the Ronaldo of defending. Wayne, if that answers your question, I like to think it does. Jason says, what, Matt, out of 10, rate how likely this deal going through is now. I'd put this deal up on an 8 or 9 out of 10 with how quickly it's advanced, with Paratici's contacts within Italy, but Romero's how keen he is now to join Spurs. This one looks like it is only a matter of time, as Galini is, as Brian Gill is, as Takahiro Tomiyasu is. Tottenham are really getting some deals done, and this could definitely be the best of them and the most exciting and most beneficial in the immediate short-term future for Spurs. Again, so many reports they're saying this one is looking likely to be done. Just to reiterate what this deal is, it's looking likely to be, I'll say it in pounds just to make it a bit more kind of relative. It's 34 to 39 million pounds plus £8.5 million in bonuses. Now, as Fabrizio Romano said, Atalanta will be willing to accept the payment in installments over a number of years, which could make this so much more affordable for Tottenham as they try and get these deals done. And what that could mean for Jules Kounde could be important as well. On Kounde, Alistair Gold has said that Jules Kounde would be interested in joining Tottenham as long as Real Madrid don't also make a move. So a very similar kind of mindset towards this move from Jules Kounde as what we saw with Cristian Romero. Gold also says that Sevilla want Davinson Sanchez, which could help Spurs negotiate a more affordable fee. So we know from Gianluca Di Marzio that last week there was the possibility, we'll say, that Spurs had agreed a deal with Sevilla for €30 million plus Davinson Sanchez to try and bring Jules Kounde to North London. At the time, it was Kounde's reluctance to make that deal happen, which is why things didn't really develop from there. Now, could Kounde's mindset change have come from the fact that Real Madrid are not expected to make a move for a new centre-back, even if Rafael Varane completes his move to Manchester United? So as Gold is saying there, Kounde wants to join Tottenham unless Real Madrid come into the picture. Could all these reports and confirmation, perhaps from Real Madrid, that they will not sign a centre-back if Varane leaves, be the reason that Kounde is now interested in joining Tottenham? Wayne, with another £2 is good enough for me. I'm glad to hear it. It's certainly good enough for me, these things we're hearing about him. It's absolutely incredible. So is that why Jules Kounde now could be looking towards a move for Tottenham? It could be massive for us. However, Gold also did go on to say any deal would be tricky to complete given his price tag and the club's pursuit of Cristian Romero. So financially, getting Kounde and Romero could be extremely difficult, but it could be really, really helped by the installments with Atalanta and putting a player in that deal for Sevilla, which could be Davinson Sanchez. Could we complete 2 swap deals with Sevilla in this window? Well, time will only tell. Another bit of a downfall on this one, if I can find the report from yesterday on Brian Gill. I can't find it just yet, but it was Marca have said that selling Brian Gill to Spurs has provided an alternative cash injection to selling Jules Kounde for Sevilla, with the La Liga side now only considering big offers for the French defender. So our signing of Brian Gill could potentially make a deal for Jules Kounde a bit more difficult because Sevilla don't need the money as urgently. But the potential is still there for that to happen. And if the player wants this deal to go ahead, well, there's certainly much more potential for things to develop there. Ken Dye with the 35 rand in the super chat. Thank you very much for that. Says, who do you think Romero should start alongside Rodon, Toby or Tomiyasu? Ideally Kounde. Ideally Kounde. I think Toby would be gone. I don't know if Joe Rodon is really ready to step up into the first team yet. And the question is of course, whether or not we'll be playing a 3 or a 4 at the back. But from those selections, I'd probably say Romero, and it's tough because I think Toby will be gone. I don't think Rodon is ready. I'm not entirely sure Tomiyasu will be playing centre back. From those three, I would say Toby Alderweireld. Will Short with $3 super chat. Will, thank you very much. I do appreciate that. Says I'd rather have Romero than Kounde, and there is a lot of people feeling the same way about that. Kounde, he's a player who has been very good in the air in La Liga, and it's one of his main traits. If there's a cross into the box, he'll get his head in it. But at only 5'11", there is the concern that perhaps he won't be able to directly translate that ability to the Premier League. Whereas Cristian Romero is just a proper solid centre half. He's been likened to Walter Samuel, and he seems like the type of physical player who'll fit in any league he plays in. So I am kind of leaning towards agreeing with you there on that one, Will, that I'd rather have Romero than Kounde. But at the moment, two of them are possibilities, both of them unlikely. But again, we can't rule it out just yet because of how these deals could work out for Spurs. A deal that has worked out for Spurs is, of course, Heung-min Son, who today signed his new contract until 2025. Gianluca Di Marzio has said that Heung-min Son actually had agreed a verbal deal in principle to extend his contract at Tottenham under old boss Jose Mourinho, which was then formalised after talks with Nuno Espirito Santo and Fabio Paratici. And that kind of explains why we've been sitting here since October, November, waiting for this announcement and talking about it for so long. But it has now come. Son is a Spurs player until 2025. We'll get some direct quotes from Paratici, but first Son, who said, "It was already a big honour to play here for 6 years. The club have showed me massive respect, and obviously I'm very happy to be here. It's like home, especially with the fans, the players, the staff. There was no decision, it was easy. I'm so happy to be here and will be so glad to see the fans again soon." And Fabio Paratici, who got this one over the line, said, "We are pleased to have agreed a new long-term contract with Heung-min Son as we move towards the start of a new season and a new chapter for the club with Nuno Espirito Santo. Everyone can see the real positive impact he has on the club, both on and off the field, and we are delighted that he will play a part in what we are trying to achieve in the coming years." So a lot of happiness there around the club that Heung-min Son has confirmed his new contract at Spurs until 2025, another 4-year deal. It was expected to be a 5-year deal, which was a bit of an interesting sort of detail that came out when it was officially confirmed, but it is 4 years until 2025. Son is Spurs, and as I said, Son is here to stay. One player who does look likely to stay, despite the fact that he may not be willing to do so, is Harry Kane. I'm sure we all saw that ridiculous report from the Sun last night saying that Man City were closing in on a £160 million deal, with Kane getting 400 grand a week. Before we do go on to Kane, Wayne Bonner with the £2 says, anything on Tomiyasu's injury? So first of all, Michael Grau of the Daily Telegraph today has said that Takahiro Tomiyasu from Bologna is still an active deal for Tottenham. Personal terms should not be an issue with should the clubs agree a fee. Football Italia have also said that Tottenham didn't want Tomiyasu to join Japan for the Olympics, as they were planning to make him move to Spurs in time for the pre-season. The defender has now suffered an ankle injury whilst at the Olympics. Now, Wayne, Japan were believed to be hopeful that he'd be back for their game on Sunday in the Olympics. However, he may miss that one, but he should be back for the game after that. So it's a very, very small injury for Tomiyasu, and it shouldn't really affect the upcoming season or how quickly we'll get this deal done after the Olympics, but it is nonetheless a concern. Bobby with the £5 super chat. Bobby, thank you so much. I do appreciate it. Says, get that vote in. Everyone do. I'll talk about that a little bit more in a second. Matt, genuine question. 3 weeks till kick off. How long are we going to hear the words "nearly done, buddy" till they're holding the shirt? That's Bobby's new hashtag. I think Galini will be announced tomorrow or Sunday. So I think we have a game on Sunday, so maybe not then. But I think Galini is on the verge of an announcement. Cristian Romero, I think this could be one that as soon as we hear a deal is agreed, the announcement could be straight after that as well. There's nothing to say that Romero didn't fly over with Galini last night. Brian Gill and Tomiyasu probably will be after the Olympics, given that they're both taking part there, which is a bit of a disappointment, but we know those are done and we know those will be happening. So it's not nice hearing the nearly done and close to an agreement FC, as people are saying. But all these four should be completed before the season starts against Man City on the 15th of August. Derek Kiley says, me and Connor Sullivan think Tottenham are very bad. Ha ha. Well, if we sign Jerry Yates, that may change. But Tara, thanks for watching. So let's go back to what was being said there in Harry Kane. And there are 660 people watching live right now, which is absolutely incredible. Please do smash that like button and hit that subscribe button as well if you are new to the channel. It will be greatly appreciated. And while there are so many people here, I just want to say I am running for the best young content creator at the Football Creator Awards 2021. So if you click the link that's either pinned to the top of the chat or at the top of the description, scroll down to the best young creator section and put in Matthew's Tottenham Blog and submit your vote. That would mean a lot to me. I'd really appreciate it, and hopefully we can go on to win this award. But on Harry Kane, we also saw that story last night from the Sun, the ridiculous £160 million bid, City closing in 400k a week. It's rubbish. Charlie Eccleshare, David Ornstein and Alistair Gold all said today that Tottenham have reiterated the fact that they are not going to sell Harry Kane. They do not intend to sell him. The Sun said that Daniel Levy has experienced this massive U-turn, and he wants to give Kane his wish, and he wants to make this deal happen. That is not believed to be true, and all the reliable sources are saying that it simply is not true. To get a bit more detail on this, Simon Stone of the BBC, Manchester City have said they will not pay £160 million for Harry Kane. The player has not handed in an official transfer request or directly communicated a wish to move to Tottenham. So he hasn't yet explicitly said to the club he wants to move on, and he certainly hasn't made anything official. So I'm not quite sure how much of that I would believe and how seriously I take that he hasn't told the club he wants to go. But that is a report from Simon Stone. Daddy Kiriaki of the Bun, thanks for tuning in. This is Maddie Hayes. I'm loving that chant. Brian Daigle, I have to thank you for that. Thanks everyone for the well wishes with the award. Kendai with a 35 rand, thank you for that, says, do you think Tomiyasu can be a right back that tucks in like a centre back similar to Di Lorenzo for Italy, which allows Reguilon to bomb forward, in a back four? He definitely can be that. Whether that'll be his main role at Spurs, I wouldn't be too sure, because I still personally think we will be going for a 3/5 at the back next season, but the versatility that Tomiyasu has and that a lot of our team has as well will be very, very helpful, and he can play that role in certain times if he is going to be asked to do it, but primarily I don't think that's what he will play. Back to Harry Kane, Stu Brennan of the Manchester Evening News says that Manchester City have made it clear that rumours they've agreed a £160 million deal for Harry Kane are nonsense. Club sources say Man City will never pay that kind of sum for a player, a fee that would have doubled their current record and added 30 million on top. So their current record for Rodri, I think, is about £65 million, or is it Ruben Diaz for £65 million? They're not willing to completely smash that, especially not £160 million, and especially not for Harry Kane. In kind of a different report, Gary Jacob of the Times says that Harry Kane believes Spurs have softened their stance and are willing to let him leave this summer, but the club maintain they have no intention of letting him leave. So the general feeling at the moment from the Harry Kane camps seems to be that it is more likely now that he can move on from Tottenham than it perhaps was at the beginning of the summer. However, Tottenham are remaining adamant that they will not sell Harry Kane. They have no intent to do so, and that on the 1st of September, after that transfer window slam shut, that Harry Kane will remain a Spurs player, which we're really hoping is the truth, but we can't exactly bank on that just yet. We just really don't know, but I do think Kane will be a Spurs player, but again, I wouldn't be putting any money on that. A few other little reports to get to. ABC Sevilla are saying that Tottenham are prioritising other signings whilst Brian Gill represents Spain in Tokyo. Gill can't officially complete his move to Tottenham until after the Olympics. Everything, however, is still agreed, so there's no hiccups in that deal. It is just simply a case of waiting for Gill to return. Bobby says, just a heads up, guys, Spurs play MK Dons next Wednesday. No games for Spurs on Sunday. Okay, I thought that game was on Sunday, so there could be an announcement Saturday, Sunday, Monday for Galini or Romero, and it is possible that the club don't announce Galini until Romero's done and maybe make it a double announcement. Chicha says, are you eligible for the under 20 award? I am. I'm still only 20, so I am eligible for that one, thankfully. So please do get your votes in, guys, if you haven't already. It would be really appreciated. Aswin says, any chance for the departure of Harry Winks? And there is a chance. Romano said yesterday on his stream that there is the possibility of Harry Winks moving to Everton this summer, but we'll get a bit more clarity on that in the next couple of days. And I think it was the Beautiful Game podcast were actually the first of that news, which is absolutely incredible. And congratulations and fair play to them on that one. But Harry Winks to Everton this summer is a possibility. Brad Matthews with the £5 super chat. Brad, thank you very much for that. Says, love it if all these signings happen, but it's still going to be a transitional season. Looking forward to 22-23. By the way, don't believe the Sun ever. And Brad, as always, I completely agree with you there. I think regardless of the signings that we're making now, which do look absolutely incredible, we still need to temper our expectations because it's Nuno's first season. There's a lot of players going to be coming in for their first season with Spurs, and it was our worst season in 12 last year, so there is quite a bit that still needs to be done, a lot of foundations that need to be put in place, but we do need to temper our expectations. But next season could be a fantastic one. Wayne with another £2, thank you so much, Wayne. Says, vote placed, best of luck, Matt, should be yours. I really appreciate that, and thank you to everyone who has voted as well. A few little extra pieces there. Various sources within Italy are saying that Lorenzo Pellegrini has held positive talks with Roma over a new contract, so Tottenham are believed to have interest in the player, but he could very well be extending his stay there with Jose Mourinho now in charge. And Carrero de Magna are saying that Tottenham are interested in Jesus Corona. He potentially could not play for Porto again and is available for €20 million. The departure of Eric Lamela could fund this transfer. And that is the bulk of the reports that we're seeing today, the ones from the most reliable sources that are out there. There's so much to get through, but the main news to take from today is that Tottenham are close to agreeing a deal, a €50 million deal, maybe rising to 55 million with Atalanta for centre back Cristian Romero, the Serie A defender of the season last year. He could be a Spurs player by next week. To be honest, this is one that could get going very, very quickly. Topi Lloyd Hughes says, "Is it true that Kounde wants to go to Spurs?" According to Alistair Gold, it is. To reiterate Alistair Gold's report, Jules Kounde would be interested in joining Tottenham as long as Real Madrid don't make a move. Sevilla want Davinson Sanchez, which could help Spurs negotiate a more affordable fee. Any deal would be tricky to complete given his price tag and the club's pursuit of Cristian Romero. And on the point of Real Madrid, Romano and a number of other journalists have made it very known that even if they sell Rafael Varane to Manchester United, they will not be looking for another centre-back, and Jules Kounde certainly won't be at the top of that list. Bulky Basher, with the €5, thank you so much for that, says, "From which part of Ireland are you from?" An ancient Spurs supporter, born and bred in Waterford and living abroad now for yonks. I'm from Limerick. I've been to Waterford a few times though. It's an absolutely lovely place, but I'm from Limerick. Hopefully not here for much longer, but we'll leave that conversation for another day. Eureka says, "Matt, do you think we could get Kounde and Romero both if we sell Winks for a good amount to Everton?" I don't think any deal for Winks would increase our funds put into a centre-back deal, because reports over the last couple of days are saying that the way Spurs are approaching this is any player that we buy, we'll then sell a player in that position. So if we sell Harry Winks, for example, we then might bring in a Mikkel Damsgaard or Houssem Aouar or Ronaldo Sanchez, whatever player we're looking for in that position. I don't think different positions will bear much of an impact on each other. But if we do manage to get Romero and Kounde, that would be because Atlanta will take installments and Sevilla will take Sanchez. And that could really ease the financial burden of getting these deals done, which is why there is potential for this to happen. If it wasn't for those two facts, it would simply be a case of one or the other. But slight chances that Spurs get both. Do I think it's going to happen? I personally don't. Kirst with the £2 super chat. Kirst, thank you so much. I massively appreciate that. Says, "Vote Matt for best young content creator at the Football Creator Awards." Please do. This is something I'm really excited about, and I'd absolutely love to get shortlisted for this award. So please, if you haven't already, the link at the top of the link to the top of the chat or at the top of the description. If you just click that link, if you scroll down to the Best Young Football Creator Award, and type my name in the creator section and submit your vote at the bottom of the page, it would mean an absolute lot to me. And hopefully we can get that award, because it wouldn't be my award, it would be the award of this community, of everyone who watches, everyone who subscribes, everyone who comes on these videos with me. It really will be more than an individual award. So please do vote if you haven't already. Mark says, "Any idea how much in wages was freed up by Rose, Gazaniga and Foyt leaving?" I don't, but I can't imagine it would have been that too much. I mean, maybe all three of them going could pay Romero's wages, or all three could pay Kounde's wages if that happens. I don't think there would have been too much there between the three of them, because you're looking at two fringe players and one player who, didn't play that much for us for the last 2-3 years, and when he was in his prime, really in that squad, the wage structure hadn't really been smashed at that stage. So I don't think there will be too much there. And says, "Very exciting news and all, but can I just remind everyone we have not signed anyone yet?" And that's very true. And I know Bobby will probably put in his TTHST, HTS, his hashtag, whatever it is. At the end of the day, these deals are not done yet. These players aren't holding the shirt. They haven't put pen to paper. It looks extremely likely that they will, but they haven't yet. That is, of course, important to note. Paul Russell says, "Hopefully Townsend will have a word at Winks. 25 million will go towards buying top class players." Absolutely. If we get 25 million for Winks from Everton, that could be absolutely massive in turn. That pays for Houssem Aouar, if that is a deal that both parties want. MN says, "So glad I found your channel. Love your content, Matt. Keep it up, and congrats on 10k. Thank you very much for that." Aaron Dove says, 783 watching and not enough likes. Hit that too, and then go vote for Maddie after. It's nearly 800 people watching. Is absolutely bizarre on a Friday evening. But please do hit that like button if you haven't already. We're on 200. Let's aim big and see if we can get that to 300 likes. Again, with nearly 800 people watching live, 300 likes would be absolutely incredible. And let's see what we're looking at in terms of subscribers, because we hit 10k just last Wednesday. We're already on 10.2k. So please, if you haven't yet, do hit that subscribe button. Let's see if we can get that to 10.3k before the stream ends. I know I actually have a stat there somewhere that 53% of people who watch my streams aren't subscribed. So the majority of you watching right now aren't subscribed to the channel. So please do that if you haven't already. For more streams like this throughout the window, breaking news, you're here first on YouTube here at Matt Hayes Tottenham Blog. It's bound to be a very exciting one, a very exciting next couple of weeks. And I would appreciate any support on the channel. Jimmy Smith says, just vote on Matt, top creator. Come on, you Spurs. Chris saying, big up Matty Hayes. Thank you, everyone. I really do appreciate it. Dermot says, we all need to take a breather and we will get at least 2 over the line. Great stream, Matt, as always. Thank you so much. Brian Ireland says, smash that like button. Brian, good to see you in the live chat. I do appreciate you tuning in. But look, that is pretty much it. That is where we stand at the moment with all of these deals. And I think we will get a few announcements next week. I think Galini and Romero potentially will be announced, and then it'll probably be after the Olympics when Gil and Tomiyasu are announced, but I do think those will happen. Pop says, love from Mauritius. Thank you so much for tuning in from Mauritius. Julie has voted. Thank you very much. I do appreciate that. Kendai says, rate this window out of 10. Galini, Tomiyasu, Romero, Pellegrini, Ings, and Gil. Well, look, do you know what? That's not the best window in the world for me, because I do think we need a defensive midfielder as well, and that means getting rid of Harry Winks and getting in a replacement for him. Pellegrini would be incredible, but I don't think he's the defensive enough of a player to kind of replace Harry Winks, and if you can't even replace Harry Winks, he doesn't really play that often. But yeah, I do think we would need a central defensive midfielder on top of that. I mean, I would prefer a better striker than Ings, but that in itself is a very good window. And I'd give that an 8 out of 10. But a midfielder and a better striker for me would push that well up to a 10 out of 10. Michael says, one of the best Tottenham videos. Thank you, Matt. Thank you, Michael, for your kind words. Wayne with the £2 says, congrats to the 10k. Wayne, thank you so much. I really do appreciate that. Mary and Todd saying you got my vote. Thank you so much. Todd, fantastic to see you in the live chat. It's been a while, my friend. I hope you're keeping well. Tor says, Spurs have to keep in mind the homegrown player rule, can't just buy foreign players. And that is a bit of a concern with Spurs. And interestingly, it's very important that you mention that, because interestingly, it's not one that we've really spoken about a lot this window, whereas every single window before now, it's all we talk about. You know, in January, we were looking at Sabitzer and Skriniar and whoever it was. All anyone could really talk about was the homegrown rule. So that's possibly the first time I've heard it this window, which is really interesting, but definitely something we do need to keep an eye on. I saw a comment there a second ago from Paddy, if I can just find it again. Paddy Higgins says, go on then, Irish and a Spurs fan subscribed. Come on, you Spurs. Thank you so much, Paddy. And the subscribers are absolutely flying in now. Let me thank a few people for their support. We got Patrick, Michael, Kenyon Waters, Chris Callahan, Paul 2310, Hugh, I'm back a few minutes ago, Daniel Cadwell, Ansab Latif, Angelo, Omaradi, Jamie, Gaza, Kira Gleon, Stan. Thank you so much all of you for subscribing. I do massively appreciate it. Will says, top work, Matt, getting my go-to guy at the moment. Thank you so much. We got people tuning in from South Africa. Danny with the super chat for £2. Thank you so much. Says Frank Kezia, who I want, 1 year left in the contract. Yeah, look, Frank Kezia will be an incredible signing. Just whether or not it's going to happen at the moment, I wouldn't be too sure. There's talk of him signing a new contract with AC Milan, but there are definitely a lot of options out there for centre midfield, which I don't really think is the case for strikers and centre backs. We seem to have found the best of the best in these centre backs, in the ones we have identified. But midfielders, there's certainly a whole lot to choose from, and Frank Kezia signing that contract isn't the end of the world. We don't even know if he was an actual target for the club, but even if he was, straight away Houssem Aouar and Renato Sanchez, who could be on the move this summer, that we could potentially tune in for. But look, I could be stuck here all day talking about these different deals, and I do appreciate the questions. I do appreciate the super chats, everyone putting those comments in, and 800 people watching live right now. I just want to ask you one more time, if you haven't already, to please head over to that link pinned at the top of the chat and at the top of the description to vote Matt Hayes for the best young content creator of the year 2021. If you hit that link, you scroll to the section best young content creator, put in Matt Hayes Tottenham Blog in the section under creator, and go down to the bottom of the page and you can submit your vote there, and it will be massively appreciated, and hopefully we can win this award together, because like I said, it's not my award, it's the award of everybody who supports this channel, and I really hope we can manage to get that done. But for now, we will wrap it up there, just as the viewers jump to 830. Crazy stuff. The kid says, Matt, rate the possibility for Kounde to come to Tottenham. 6 out of 10. I'd give it a 6 out of 10 for now, but that could jump up depending on how much Sevilla actually want Davinson Sanchez. And Dangi says, when are you getting Fab in again? Hopefully before the end of the window, but it won't be in the immediate future. Sam says, or Sam joining the membership. Thank you, Sam, becoming a championship member. I do really appreciate it. Make sure to head over to the community feed, and there's a few perks there that you will be entitled to, and keep an eye out for some member call-in shows and some member exclusive videos in the not too distant future as well. And Aaron says, we've reached 300 likes, which is absolutely crazy. 300 likes on a live stream talking transfers. Doesn't happen very often. But I do appreciate everyone who has hit that like button. Crazy numbers tonight. I really can't believe it. Michael says, big yourself up, Matt. Top information as always. Pete Kenny says, voted for you, Matt. And MN says, bye, Matt. Enjoy the rest of your day. And everyone else, do enjoy the rest of your day as well. We will be back tomorrow, maybe with a couple of streams with everything that's going on. We may need a couple of streams to properly kind of understand what's going on. Jenky with the question says, Matt, I might have missed it, but thoughts on Ajax's interest in Bergwijn? We actually didn't speak about that because I'll be honest, I didn't actually see that in the whole horde of stuff that was going through Twitter today. I must have missed that story. It makes sense, is what I say. You know, Bergwijn having coming into Tottenham and not really settled in the Premier League, despite having such a fantastic start. I actually see the story here from the Spurs web. Mike Verwooy of the Telegraph in the Netherlands has said that Ajax want to sign Steven Bergwijn. The Dutch club selling Redson Alvarez to Rennes, who are pushing intensely for the player, would open the door for the purchase of Bergwijn, and it makes sense because he did so well in the Eredivisie and he's just not quite settled at Spurs. I can see that one happening. I can see Spurs being willing to let him go, but we would have to get in another winger in his place, is what I'd say on that one. But I wouldn't be too opposed to it if it did go through. Jen, thank you for bringing that to my attention because I'd certainly missed that one. But now we're going to wrap it up. Thank you everyone for tuning in. Thank you for the likes. Thank you for subscribing. We got about 50 in the stream today, which is incredible. Thank you to Sam for becoming a new member. Thank you for all the super chats, but most important was thanks for watching.